The following episode is brought to you by Poison City Brewing, proud makers of Durban Poison Cannabis Lager, the beer that invites you to live your poison.
We've got Michelle on the show today. Nice to finally meet you. As you said, it's the second time we're meeting.
Yeah.
So super stoked. And
we've met on multiple occasions.
Yes.
yeah, apparently you are Marcel's client.
Yes, I am.
How like what's get into that?
Oh no. My gran is really ill, and Marcel actually was kind enough to help me out, do payments for my gran. So yeah, that's how I met him. It was kind of weird because
it's a small world. Because
Yeah.
we got to talking, and then we both realized that one, we know the same people, and two, we're involved in the same community.
Yeah.
And that was just
it was so interesting. And I was actually having coffee with Cliffy before I met you that day.
No way.
Yeah, I was at Vita E having a coffee with Cliffy, and then I went down to Marcel's work, and yeah.
How do you know Cliffy?
I actually approached them in December 2019, and I asked them if I could do merch for them. And then Cliffy was super keen, and he actually told me to just hang on, and he would contact me, and then that's what happened.
Damn, that's
We
insane,
met up, and we discussed some merch, and I made merch for the band members.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. Pre-lockdown.
I actually have a Last of the Daggers t-shirt.
Okay.
And it's got the 13Stone logo on it.
Oh, no way.
That's insane. Yeah, he gave it to me. Cliffy gave it to me actually.
Which shirt is that? Which design is that?
It's
That's the
the
one with
Dolly
the
Dagger.
Dolly Dagger
I've
on the
got one
back.
of those as well.
Oh, awesome.
It doesn't fit me though because I'm a Sasquatch, but my girlfriend wears it.
Oh, awesome.
So like,
It's not that one though.
not that one.
Yeah, this one is the one with Dolly Daggers on the front, and she's got like a dagger through her head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I must say the quality as well of that thread is really good. Like it's what sort of printing do you do on your garment?
I do either silkscreen or DTG. The quality of the DTG that I'm doing is really good. It is silkscreen standard.
Yeah.
I've shown a few of my clients, and their minds are blown when they see it. Yeah.
For someone who doesn't understand, what is the difference between, you said silk screening and DTG?
So
what are these?
DTG is direct to garment. There's no screens involved, so the cost is a little bit less. Where silk screen, you have to develop positives and screens, and so it's a little bit more cost.
Complicated.
Yeah, it's not complicated. It's just more expensive to do silk screen than it is DTG. And DTG, you can use unlimited colors, which is insane.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you've got the ones that are sort of like screen printed in a way.
Yeah.
And then you've got those that sort of look like they've seeped into the actual fabric.
Okay.
Is that what the difference, or
No,
are they
actually,
both sort of like
examples.
screen like what? Like I'm still not. Sort of
It
understanding.
feels exactly the same.
same.
Yeah, it feels
Okay.
exactly the
Okay.
same. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
got. Can I feel your print?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it feels like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just that it's a different process for
Yes.
each one.
Yeah, when I went to my supplier, they did a whole demonstration because I wasn't keen on DTG, and my mind was blown. It was really insane. So yeah.
So what sort of led you to, providing merch for? I mean, you've made merch for China the artist. Shout out to him. Obviously, Last of the Daggers and many more of the artists that we've had on. Yes.
Yeah.
So what sort of led you to sort of, in a world and a time where a lot of the people are sort of making the actual music, you were just like, hey, let me make merch for these people.
Well, it started off with me just wanting to do custom t-shirts, and then I approached Cliffy, and we chatted about it, and then Bryn from Imperious Vision contacted me, and I did some t-shirts for them, and I just thought, well, let's just run with this. And after that, I had Reno from Truth Decade. They've been a huge support. They've ordered so many t-shirts for me, and it's insane, like seeing on their Instagram all the people from overseas. Yeah, it's crazy. It's so cool. Yeah. And at the moment, there's State Dependency that we're discussing on doing some t-shirts for them. Bad Values. I've done some merch for them as well. And China and I are meeting on on Monday to discuss more. Yeah, I'm so excited.
It's interesting that like, so many of the artists that you mentioned like have actually been on the show before.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
It's
That's so cool.
it's such a coincidence. Like it's really cool. It's how once again it comes back to like a small world and how interconnected the community actually is. And
Yeah.
it's really, really cool to actually finally have someone who's more behind the scenes actually come to light and speak about it.
Yeah.
So you have been doing this since your first discussion with Cliffy.
Yes, well, that was for for bands. Yeah. So I started in November 2019. I did Burn Reunion T-shirts for the Burn Reunion party, and it was it was sick, man. It's so awesome. And then after that, I spoke to Cliffy, and then I spoke to Bryn, and we just went from there.
You know,
It's been crazy. It's been so awesome. Yeah.
but were you making like, you know, garments and clothing before that?
Yes, it was mainly custom printed T-shirts. So anything if you wanted for birthdays or for just a random T-shirt. Yeah, so I was doing that and doing my own designs as well. And then I just approached bands.
So you already have the skill set beforehand, and then it just kind of something that sort of worked its way into it.
Yeah.
Which is also cool. It's just something that just fell into place, which is really dope.
Yeah, and obviously, like, I want to ask you, you mentioned the Burn Reunion there. Did you go to the Burn Reunion?
Yeah, I did.
And, you know, considering that you went there, we've heard a lot about Burn. We even had a metal sort of roundtable thing that we had with a couple of the guys that have been involved and have played at Burn. You know, have you had... You know, do you have any fond memories of, you know, Burn when it was still around?
Word. Definitely. Jeez.
What's like the best one?
So I'm from a small town. I grew up in Ladysmith, and when I moved to Durban to come study, it was mind-blowing. It was like my first metal club that I went to, and it was just such an amazing experience. And meeting Jamie and having them play like the DJ sets was insane. And then when the bands came on, that was me. That was my life. It was over. I was just like, I was always at Burn forever. It was either Burn or Winston. Yeah.
That was your first experience with a live band.
That was my first experience.
That was it. For me, that experience was Rumours Lounge in Joburg.
Okay.
That was where I saw my first like local band that I'd never heard of. I barely knew about the local music scene, and that was one of the first bands that I watched there.
Okay.
And also, I was just in love ever since and been involved. I know that feeling.
Yeah, it was amazing, and I met like a lot of interesting people there. Yeah, it's like a part of me, and I think anybody and everybody that went to the old Burn, they all like connected. If we see each other, we all like, you'll notice. We just reconnect.
You know, the one thing that I've also picked up as well is that you're very, what can I say, like you one can see that you aren't just, you have a passion for the scene, you have a passion for the artists that are pushing in general, like, you know, you're very supportive, you know, when it comes to their craft. Where did your love for, you know, music and I can't even say it's limited to just the metal because, you know, China. No, so where does this love sort of stem from on your end?
I like music that makes me feel good. So if anybody asks me what am I into, I can't say that I'm just into metal or I'm just into hip hop or whatever. It depends on what mood I'm in. And then I'll listen to that. But I love the local music scene, and I love supporting local artists and helping them get their music out. And
that's really sick. And what has sort of been, you know, happening, you know, during the pandemic? We actually touched on this a bit as well in the beginning, and, you know, prior to the pandemic, you know, you started getting involved with the bands and the artists and all that, and then when the pandemic hit, sort of talk me through your mind frame and what was sort of happening and how you sort of got through all that.
It was crazy. I, like most people, stayed alone, and it was just trying to like not lose your mind. So I started making masks for the community, and obviously I lost my job, and that was my way of supporting myself, was making masks and delivering it to people, not meeting them, obviously, just chucking it over the fence or putting it in the post box. Pretty much. I'll take photos and I'll WhatsApp it to them. Yeah, that was me for like 5 months of my life making masks, and I literally looked like a zombie because I would stay up like 4 days straight and people would get annoyed with me. They wanted to communicate with me and I refused to because I was just so into this like mask thing. Yeah, but it kept me busy and it kind of kept me sane, besides from turning into a zombie.
Were you part of the people that sort of started panic buying, like at the beginning?
Not at all. I was one of the first people wearing a mask and gloves, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That must have been a weird experience.
Yeah, people like looked at you like, like what's wrong with you? But yeah, I didn't want to take a chance.
We took it seriously as well because once again, working with people, working in a client-facing situation, and then we work with biometrics and all these sort of things. So we also, the moment we had heard that it hit South Africa, as we had started wearing masks and gloves, and clients would come in and laugh at us, and it was funny because now look at the situation.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't take it seriously. Hey?
Yeah. Some people still aren't taking it seriously, which is scary.
Has it affected your business in any way, like lockdown at this point where it is right now?
It was tough in the beginning with lockdown, but then after the restrictions lifted and because I wasn't allowed to do any prints because it wasn't seen as essential. So my supplier in Durban closed down, so I have to use a supplier in Joburg, which has made things a little bit difficult for me because now there's a longer turnaround time for my prints. But yeah, it's picked up again, and I think this year is going to be amazing. Yeah, I really think so.
I'm really glad that you have a positive outlook on what this year
You have to
can
be
hold.
positive, hey? No matter what happens, you have to be... I don't know, I prefer to be positive. I've been so grumpy and miserable all my life. So seriously, I've been such a horrible person. And then I just decided one day, screw it, I'm done with this. I'm done being sad.
Tell us about that. What made you? Yeah. What made you this grumpy, terrible person?
I think I was just in the wrong frame of mind, and yeah, I was just negative all the time. I was surrounded by negativity, and then I hate when people tell me it's impossible to do something. So I just pushed away all the negativity and I decided, screw it, I'm going to be positive, and you don't tell me it's impossible to do something because I will prove you wrong. And yeah, so now I'm just, it's not easy to be positive every day, but yeah, it's good though. It's nice to be positive.
That's the thing. And for this year, I personally believe is that no matter what this year can throw at you, no matter what, just overcome. Focus on not the challenges that you're going to be thrown your way, but your ability to overcome them.
Yes, exactly.
And make the best of what you've got and do what you can with what you've got.
Exactly.
And positivity isn't that everything must go right. It is making the best out of bad situations.
That is exactly what it is.
And yeah, that's my whole mindset for this year is just we'll make the best of it.
And
we'll move forward.
If you are positive, the people around you just become a little bit more happier. Yeah. And it's almost like it's infectious, the positivity. And I just love that. I love seeing other people becoming happier and more positive towards their lives because of me being positive towards life.
And
itself.
when you were transitioning as well, did you find that you had to was this something that you had to find within, or did you also have to sort of eliminate people around you that maybe were negative? And
I had to eliminate a lot of people in my life. Yeah. It was difficult, but yeah, it was for the best. It was also not just them being negative, like bringing negativity to me, but it was myself being negative when I was around them. So it was like a two-way thing. So but I'm a lot happier now, and it's awesome. It is nice to be happy.
Yeah. I just want to, something that you actually mentioned earlier about growing up in Ladysmith. How was it growing up there as a child?
Is there a music scene in
No. Well, actually, what is that band's name? Just Ginger came there once.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Once. And then there was a Christian band that used to go there. I can't remember the name of the band. I think something Tree.
Tree 63.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Tree 63.
Yeah, they were there once as well. But yeah, otherwise it was a one horse town. It was
Just a repressed memory of my church days of being in the youth band, and I'm pretty sure there was a Tree 63 song that we used to play in the church band. Now in the youth band, now that I think about it, I need to go ask the Hinslaws about this. This is just a memory that got dug up. I'm gonna have to go find it.
Yeah, but but besides the music scene there, you growing up there, what was it like? Because I've never been to Ladysmith before.
You know what? I'm grateful that I grew up in a like farm town type vibe. It's just made things more exciting. Like, we weren't exposed to things that city kids were kiddie kids. Sorry, my dyslexia kicking in there. City kids were exposed to. So it was. We grew up differently. And also I'm a lot older than you guys, so we had no cell phones. So we'd have to you have to walk to your friend's house just to get there to see, oh, they're not there, and then you have to walk somewhere else. And it was a lot of fun, like playing in rivers and yeah. I know it sounds lame, but
No,
it was so cool. It was very awesome. We just entertained ourselves. Yeah.
If it's any consolation, I grew up on the West Rand,
Oh, there we go.
and on the West Rand cons. And yeah, at one point the only thing to do was play in a mine dump, which in hindsight was probably not a good idea. But that's what we would do. So I understand. It sounds dumb now, but taking a piece of cardboard and sliding down a mine dump was pretty fun. Yeah, I feel you.
Just sort of comparing what life was like now in 2021, and what life was like back then. Which would you say you prefer?
Now.
Now.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I'm an adult now.
What is it about an adult that you value so much?
I'm not really an adult. I like to pretend that I am. But you can do whatever you want to, If you want to eat breakfast for dinner, you can have breakfast for dinner. If you don't want to eat, you don't want to eat. If you want to go out and see friends, you can go out and see friends. You can do whatever you want to. Yeah. As opposed to living at home with the parentals, you're limited.
True. And I think I dispute what you were saying earlier when you're you're a lot older than you are. I thought you were 25 or something.
Thanks. Of course
Just edit out the age. And we'll leave that part in.
Okay, obviously 13Stone. What the name now? The actual name. What is it behind that? How did that come about?
Okay, so 13 is the 13th letter in the alphabet is M. My name is Michelle, and Stone is the last piece of my surname, Johnstone.
That's cool. It has a direct correlation to your name. That's
Yeah.
cool. I never would have guessed that. I would never have thought that.
Yeah. And when you were coming up with sort of, the I'm pretty sure you must have planned this. You didn't just wake up one day and just, so when you when you were coming up with the name and everything, your actual logo as well looks fucking awesome. So how did you come up with that,
Well, I have a really close friend, Rana, and I ran some ideas past her. She's brutally honest, man, which I really appreciate. Because I had some bad names.
Give us some of those bad names, come on.
I know, it was terrible. I actually can't remember. It's written in my little notebook of ideas. Yeah, no, it was bad. She used to tune me. Hey? It's no. And then when I actually spoke to my nephew, and he changed his Instagram name to something, and I was like, wow, that's actually quite cool and it's clever. And then I thought, well, let me play around with something like that, and that's how I came up with 13Stone. Yeah, and then I just also downloaded a lot of fonts and messed around with some artwork, and that's how I created it.
Sure. That's
Yeah.
really sick, actually. It's really nice.
Yeah, no, that's actually really dope.
A lot of people think it's 3Stone. I get kind of bummed.
If it's any consolation, okay, speaking of misconceptions, is that I often get told, why have you got a dolphin on your arm? I know. Okay, so if you ever get bummed about what's 3Stone, think about someone's walked up to me and like, why do you have a dolphin on your arm? It is a fucking bird. Okay.
Yeah, I think most people are blind though, because you can clearly see it's 13Stone, and you can see that's a bird, dude. So you guys just had encounters with blind people.
I feel your pain, so I get you. I get you.
Speaking of tattoos, actually, you've got a couple yourself that we're seeing here.
I'm actually going on the 30th of Jan. I'm going back to Electric Lounge to get something in memory of my gran on my arm here. But yes, I have a lot, and I've been known, some of them are known as my prison tattoos, because they don't look that great.
Yeah, tell us a bit of, give us the lowdown, in terms of your tattoos, the dope ones and the prison ones as well.
Okay, so the prison one I would say is on my back. That is my family crest, the Johnstone family crest. I got it done in Polokwane, and it was an interesting experience.
Tell us about that experience.
Yeah.
It's not the tattoo.
No, it is not. You know how you go to a tattoo artist and they actually they will take your idea and turn it into something more creative and their version of it. Yeah. This guy literally just took the drawing of the family crest, stuck it onto my back and tattooed it, and I was like, okay.
But
was that your first tattoo?
No, my first tattoo is on I've got a tramp stamp. And I don't know what it is. I cannot see it because it's in a weird place, and it's apparently people say it looks like a spider. Okay. I don't know. I was 19. And I really wanted a tattoo. It was my first year at Allenby. I studied fashion at Allenby for 1 year, and everybody just went and got tattoos, and I was like, damn, I also want a tattoo, man. Peer pressure. And I went to a place on the bluff. I actually don't know. I don't know. And I went with this guy that I knew, and while I got the tattoo, he passed out. I know, it was so embarrassing. So the tattoo guy was just like, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay.
So he gave it to you for free?
Yeah, he gave it to me for free.
You regret getting that?
No. All my tattoos, even though they look like prison tattoos, some of them, I feel it's a phase or a part of my life.
Part of your life.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget.
No, I don't want to forget it.
You can think of them as like your landmarks in
yes,
history.
Exactly.
Exactly. Different times, different phases.
Yeah. I have a butterfly on my side that my friend, she won a voucher also at a burn gig, and she gave it to me as a birthday gift. And so that's one of the nice ones that I have. And then little swallows on my wrist, and this is just somebody that used to be special in my life.
Yeah, you don't really regret that one?
No, not at all. You can't erase the past, man.
Memories.
No, you can't.
Sorry, that man's method of getting out of that parking was
terrible.
Yeah, he literally didn't reverse it. He just fucking went straight forward and it came around. I was just, what the fuck? And then he had the balls to look at all of us like give us the fucking stink eye. I love it. It's wonderful. Carry on. The next one intrigues me a lot.
The cat. Yeah. Okay, so this is in memory of my cat that passed away. I didn't want a portrait, because I had a feeling they were going to mess it up. So this is done by Nikki on the bluff from Mug and Needle. Yeah, she is insane. Yeah. It's so weird. It hurt like hell. None of the others hurt.
The detail is quite,
And she used white ink, which was really awesome.
Damn.
Yeah, but there's a lot of fine work there, which is probably why it hurts so much.
All I did was I sent her a picture that I drew of the cat's face and the roses, and she added everything else.
That's dope though.
Yeah.
That's really good,
no,
that's what I love.
Yeah, with the artist adding their own creativity onto it.
Yeah. Damn.
And then on my back is I got this last year for my birthday. Yeah. It's 2 snakes and a 13. And flowers.
What does that represent now?
I just really wanted a badass tattoo. And I wanted to throw in 13 though.
And obviously you are going to be getting the one in memory of your grandmother. Yeah. Are there any more that you're planning on getting in future?
Definitely.
And where on your body would you like to get these?
It's so weird. I have this thing where I only have tattoos on my left side. or on my back.
Was that intentional or
I don't know. It's like even my piercings, everything is on the left.
on the left? Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
Are
it's
you
like
left-handed?
I am left-handed.
Yeah,
I'm left-handed as well.
Oh, cool.
I'm only righty here.
Oh, yes.
For the first time.
For the first time
I
ever.
have a very weird story about this, because if you ever watch me do anything, it's really confusing if you ever pay attention, because there's certain things that I should be doing with my right hand that I do with my left.
Yeah.
And the reasoning is because I was left-handed when I was in school, but my teacher decided that it was unnatural and that I should,
That
because
teacher needs
because
to learn.
because I was the only kid in the class who was left-handed at that point, I was forced to write right-handed. I end up getting confused between left and right. There's certain things that you would normally do with your...
actually ambi.
Yeah, basically.
I should be, but no. It's like, the thing is that everything that I do is either, it's half-assed in all ways, is that I'm not 100% good with my right hand, and I'm not 100% with my left hand either, because of being forced to do it in different ways.
Yeah.
So it fucks with me sometimes.
Well, I had the same issue in primary school. I used both hands, and the kids moaned to the teacher and said that it's unfair because I finished the test faster than they do. I'm like, guys, I have one brain.
Like, yeah.
So what I used to do is I would write the test with my left hand and colour in with my right hand. It was just to calm me down, because I would get like super nervous when I wrote tests. And she did the same thing. She said I have to pick one hand. And I went home and I told my dad, and my dad's left-handed, and he's like, you will be left. Like, yes, of course.
But I feel like you had such an advantage because you're able to use both, and it's like
but I wasn't
limited to one.
Yeah,
What
man.
if you use 100% of your brain?
So you are probably going to get something on your right side, or
Yeah, eventually. And I love going to Electric Lounge. They're in Shelley Beach. Richie he's an amazing artist. And I know eventually I'm going to have to get something on my right side.
Have you ever just thought, in terms of being involved in the music scene, have you ever tried to pick up an instrument, or have you ever wanted to, or had that desire to do so?
Yeah. I was very keen, but the thing is, being left-handed and nobody can really show you how to play. Well, there's not a lot of people out there. So my ex-partner tried to teach me, and I would play upside down and strum upside down. So it was a little bit confusing. And I think I'm tone deaf. I would love to play an instrument. And when we were in high school, I was nominated to play the drums. Obviously it was just a dream we had. But yeah, I can't keep rhythm. I'm the worst. I can't even dance properly.
you're not I can't dance
jump
myself. So yeah.
The funny thing is, like, I am the stiffest human being. I have no sense of rhythm if I'm not holding an instrument. It's very, very strange. Like, I'm generally like, I'm awkward. I don't know what to do with my hands. So like, if you ever see me at a club or at a venue or something, I'll always be standing like, unless I'm very familiar with the music that I'm listening to. If I'm listening to new band, I'm more focused on the music, and I'll stand very still. But the moment I have an instrument, I tend to get a bit carried away. I'll jump around, I'll move
awesome,
around
though,
and whatnot. And that's funny for me. And I know Naz as well loses his ever-loving shit on a drum kit. So every now and then I turn around and I'm like, good lord, son.
Yeah, I think it's cool that we all can't dance, which is, at least you can mosh though. I think like in a mosh pit you just do whatever the fuck, and it works.
That kid getting absolutely. We've got this video of a shout out to Gino, who devastated a child in the mosh pit. Do you remember the Facing the Gallows gig in Belito at the Heart? There's a clip of this kid literally going from vertical to horizontal.
Damn.
Do you not remember this video?
No, I need to refresh my memory.
I will find it. I've got it somewhere. It was just this. Boop.
Basically, mosh pits are fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Basically, so basically, just comparing, what can I say? You're part of the Burn crowd, people who have been to Burn and all that there, and touching on something that we were actually talking about in that chat that we did with Matthew, and Dane and all those guys there. Part of it was about how the metal scene isn't really as great as it used to be back
Yeah.
then. So I mean, do you sort of share the same thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. It is. It's kind of sad that it fizzled out in Durban.
What about it was so good back then that is sort of lacking right now?
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. There's just like the whole metal community is just gone. Like there's nowhere to go. Like where do they go to? There's no place to jam or have gigs. You know, it's all gone. Like live, the venue was there. That was amazing. And then after that, there was Pit at the Polo that happened like once or twice.
Were you there?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are we.
So, yeah.
You know Matthew Howes?
Yeah.
You are aware that he's in a band with us?
No way.
Yes. So,
Awesome.
yeah. So we were there, and there was going to be a second one,
I know.
but literally as it was going to happen, the president announced there was a limit of 100 people.
I know.
And then about a week and a half after that, this happened.
Yeah.
So it's so funny that we've been to so many of the same things.
And you know, so many of the same people as well. Like it's like, whoa, it's like we've met before, but small world. Just as you know, your journey being into the local bands and everything. If you think back, what was sort of the best show you've been to?
Local or international?
Give us one of each. Your favorite
Yeah.
international, your favorite local.
I think it was a band called 340 Mil. I think it was the bassist's birthday, and I went on stage after they finished and I sang happy birthday to him. Yeah, it
Do you
was
want to
crazy.
give us like an example of how that sounded?
No, I was extremely drunk when that happened. Yeah, and then international, I've seen so many bands, man. I've seen Iron Maiden. That was insane.
I'm currently wearing Iron Maiden socks.
No, I love Iron Maiden. It was just the fact that his voice still sounds the same at his age was
After
just
throat cancer,
yeah.
after so many things,
Yeah.
it's just Bruce Dickinson.
It's amazing.
Otherwise, and he's so tiny. He's like,
Yes. And the whole show was just amazing. It was just like the pyrogenics, freaking Eddie on stage and throwing his hearts into the crowd. It was amazing.
Matrix,
Yeah, exactly. And Violent Femmes, Pixies, In Flames. Yeah.
Did you ever watch Fuzzy Gish?
No. What? I know.
I thought you might have. I thought. Why is everyone letting me down? Like based on the bands you've listed, you would have so thoroughly enjoyed Fuzzy Gish.
I'm pretty sure I would have. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible list, actually. It's for you. What makes like a brilliant show?
It's just the vibe, It's like I love how everybody is just happy and like nobody cares about. It's like everybody's worries just disappears as soon as they go to a concert, and it's just all about the music and all about having fun and listening to the music and watching the bands play. It's just I love that, and I miss it so much.
Yeah, but I'm really just hoping that when things open up, Pits at the Polo comes back, because
Yeah.
we need that. Like we definitely need that.
Yeah, we do.
So yeah, what's sort of coming up? We obviously just transitioned into 2021. What are the plans on your end?
For 13Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's state dependency that I'm going to do t-shirts for. And then I'm not sure. Hey, I'm just going to go with it. I've got a few artworks that I've created that I'm going to start posting. I'm meeting with a potentially new client on Monday to discuss business with him, and then with China as well, which is very exciting. I'm so excited for that. Yeah. Yeah, it's just spreading the word.
as someone who actually tends to share some of the posts that these artists put up, who are some of your favorite local bands or artists right now?
Definitely. Yeah. And Bad Values, I love those guys, man. I really love those guys so much. Yeah. They're just so sick. I love them so much. They're awesome. I don't know why. We just like, I love the sound of their music, and they're just such cool people. Yeah.
No, that's incredible. I'm just enjoying talking to you so much. Like, I feel it will eventually come to an end. I want to know what you did on New Year's Eve. You're obviously locked down. We couldn't go anywhere. What happened?
I was at a friend's house and we had a braai and we swam. I went home at 9:15.
You swam on New Year's?
Yeah.
It was raining.
Was there not this gigantic...
It was before the storm.
Before, okay.
Yeah, before the storm.
Sorry.
So it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I worked till 6 o'clock. So
I'm sorry.
You had to travel through all that, dude.
Yes.
Jeez.
I had to travel in that. Like, I came out into that. So I didn't realize that the day had been anything other than that.
No, it was a beautiful day. It's the storm only hits Westville like around after 9, like 9:30, 10.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
it was already chaos by like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I was at home. I went back to my place and I was chilling out.
Understood.
And then this huge storm broke out and it hit the house, so the power went out and I was like, well, what now? So I just watched the lightning and fell asleep at 11.
I was also out by 11 actually. I did not have the energy to cope, but once again I did work a full day.
Yeah,
on
shame,
New Year's
sorry.
Eve. I was absolutely
My
gutted.
friend phoned me at 12 and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm sleeping. It's like, why are you sleeping? It's New Year's. I'm like, man, you like at a party, I'm at home sleeping.
In all honesty, given how bad the weather was, I'm quite grateful. Like this it may be a bit controversial, but I'm quite grateful for the alcohol ban and the curfew.
Yeah, true.
Because with that weather coupled with alcohol, there would have been a much greater loss of life. I'm pretty sure someone out there still lost their life in that storm. I'm pretty sure someone out there was still drunk. But if it had gone on like a regular New Year's Eve,
Yeah, definitely.
that would have been absolute chaos.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I
with you.
honestly think that would have been one of the worst nights to work in any, or one of the worst New Year's to work in any kind of health service, because it was bad. Having been on the road, it was an absolute nightmare. It was difficult to get through sober. So I'm quite thankful for that in that aspect, as controversial as that may be. So,
Michelle, are you in line, just on what Marcel was touching on? This is my last question, maybe. Are you in line with something that Marcel was touching on with government's decision to sort of just lock everything down? And obviously it will result in people losing their jobs and stuff, but where do you sort of stand on that?
I don't think closing business is a good idea. We can't afford that in South Africa. I mean, working in the clothing industry really took a strain. Like, they weren't allowed to open up factories, so local manufacturing is a lot more expensive. So most people do Lesotho manufacturing. So they weren't allowed to bring stuff over across the borders, and it really affected them. So I don't think like closing business is a good idea, but definitely putting restrictions like on booze. People get so bummed with me when I say that, but I experienced it firsthand when I took my gran to the hospital over December, and the
trauma units are overwhelmed.
they couldn't see her because there were drunk people everywhere, and I was so pissed off. I was like so angry. There was a guy lying on a bed. The staff actually just pushed him to the side because he was throwing up, and he was just drunk. He was drunk and he fell and he obviously broke something. But now they have to see to him. It's unfair. It's not right. Yeah. So, yes, definitely restrictions on booze. I think that's cool. Yeah.
Sure.
And my friends are going to hate me for saying that.
like I was saying, it's a controversial opinion to have. But it's... listen, the complete and utter shutdown of booze, it has its own problems. It affects incomes, it affects jobs.
I understand.
But at the same time, people are far too irresponsible.
So what if they rather do it like this? So open up bars, but you are only allowed to have a certain amount of drinks. So let's limit it to 5 drafts a person.
That's enough.
Is it a lot? Okay.
I'm not
3.
I'm not an alcoholic, but I'm considering my size 5 drafts would probably be enough to oil me quite well.
But let's
Yeah,
say
but you don't drink at all. Like a single.
let's say over if you say over like 5 hours, like one draft an hour. Like that should be fine. Yeah. Yeah, not 5 drafts in 20 minutes.
But now, how do you monitor that though? Because then people just find ways around it.
I mean, even now, as we speak, there are still places that are trading under the table, and I'm not condemning them. I'm not like it's people's literal livelihoods.
Yes, exactly.
And if there is anyone out there with an alcohol problem or some kind of dependency, it's like I've seen someone go through alcohol withdrawals. I've seen someone trying to fight that. It is not pretty, and if you live with someone who is going through that, they are not a pleasant person.
Yeah.
And like it's such a catch-22. It's very difficult to have a solid standpoint on it because there's so much to take into account. There's so many different things that you have to take into account with it, because the only way to do it is to weigh up the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in our current situation, with the pandemic, with COVID, with hospitals being overwhelmed, I can understand the decision to stop booze.
Yeah.
As much as it affects other things, unfortunately, given the current circumstances, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Michelle, were you part of the people that made like that home brew during like hectic lockdown?
I tried to make ginger beer. Okay. I found an awesome recipe online, and I mixed it with chilies. And it came out pretty good. Yeah. And then I tried to make wine, and I just gave that away. Yeah, I literally gave it away.
So when are we coming over to have for Marcel to have some ginger beer?
I actually have a bottle of carrot wine.
Whoa!
That I was Yeah, it's my friend's dad. They live on a farm outside Ladysmith, and he brew his own beer and he makes his own wine.
Carrot wine.
Yeah, so I'm like, I can't wait. It's my birthday tomorrow and I'm going to have it.
Your birthday is tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Thanks, guys.
Sure. What does that taste like?
I have no idea. I'll let you know.
I'm just trying to sit here as like, who looked at a carrot and was like, that's
turn carrots into wine.
Well,
and I'm just sitting here like, what else can we turn into wine? Basically any fruit that ferments, I guess.
I think that is exactly what he did. He was like, I'm bored. What should we turn into wine today?
You saw a rabbit with a carrot and he was like, come here, brother.
Yeah, anyways, like I don't think we want to hold you up too long. Marcy, do you have anything left that you'd like to?
I'm good, my side. I should not be rattling keys. I'm a very fidgety human being.
Chill vibes, man. Michelle, thank you for
thanks,
joining us in the car.
Awesome.
This was really cool. I enjoyed learning a lot about you. Just give us details, if people want to place orders and they want to check out the business online, like, what do we do? Where do we go?
Yeah, at the moment, it's mainly on not Facebook, sorry. I don't use Facebook. Only on Instagram. If you need anything, you can just pop me a mail at 13stoneteas@gmail.com. Yeah. And all the information is on Instagram. So anything, just send me a picture of what you want, or if there's bands that need any help. Yeah, I'm keen, man.
That's solid. Marcy, who are you online before we close out?
I'm pretty much everywhere. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube as Marcel Smuts. So you can check out my personal channel and all those. On Instagram, I am Thorns of Sludge. And before I move over, we are now live on the Sludge Underground YouTube channel. Please go and check it out. We have got some really cool little series coming up, and the next video should be dropping very, very soon. So keep an eye open for that. So Nazi boy.
Sick, dude. Awesome. I'm at Zwane031 on everything, and at Sludge Underground is the podcast, and Sludge Underground Podcast on SoundCloud, Sludge Underground Podcast on Spotify, and Sludge Underground Podcast on everywhere you're able to listen to shit. And then Facebook, it's at Sludge Underground. On Instagram, at Sludge Underground. On Twitter, at Sludge031. Find all our hoodies and everything on the Casual Sex store, link in bio. And yeah, check it out there. Marcy, you want to say something?
Yeah, one more thing that I've forgotten to actually mention. If you want to listen to some local music, we now have a Sludge Underground Spotify playlist. If you go onto Spotify and you search for Sludge Underground, you will either find the podcast as well as the playlist. And we are updating that quite often to any of the artists that we've had on the podcast or any artists who we find locally. And if you want to just listen to a really mixed bag of really cool South African music, you don't know where to find it, just hit that playlist and there's something for everyone there.
Sick, man. And then Michelle, we need to close out one of your favorite songs. What's your favorite song at the moment, preferably by a local band?
By a local band.
Yeah. Or hip-hop artist or whatever.
Jeez, man. Anything by China at the moment. Yeah.
We've had China on the pod as well, so he should be cool with it.
Yeah. Let's play out with Barracuda. That's my favorite. So you're closing out with China's song Barracuda. Until next time, guys, it's been Michelle. Thank you once again.
Thanks, guys.
And it's bye for now.
Yeah. Yeah. Barracuda. Hallelujah. Barracuda. I'ma call my shooters. Barracuda. Hallelujah. Barracuda. I'ma call my shooters. Get the cheese, yeah. Get the cheese, yeah. Get the cheese, yeah. Youngin' get the cheese, yeah. Get the cheese, yeah. Get the cheese, yeah. Get the cheese, yeah. Youngin' get the cheese, yeah. Hallelujah. You gon' make me call my shooters. Yeah. Hallelujah. Please don't let me call my shooters. I finesse, pull up press, game a mess, had to interject, I got next, cut my check, hit they chest, my shit cigarettes. Okay, kill him, OJ, no cape, save him, no way, empty souls, stuck on pocket phones, they gon' play these songs, that's the antidote, now they know, check my combo, flow is so artistic, call me fucking Van Gogh, very competition, this my premonition, put in my position, I'm the definition of niggas chasing females, but I'm on a paper quest, told them I would do it, did it, now they so perplexed, I run circles round you niggas, still won't break a sweat, if they doubted, hang them niggas by the kitchen net, Barracuda, hallelujah, Barracuda, I'ma call my shooters, Barracuda, hallelujah, Barracuda, I'ma call my shooters, get the cheese, get the cheese,